I went to see Wonka, which has been trailered for ever. And I was a massive fan of the books growing up. I could listen to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and The Great Glass Elevator over and over again on audiobook. I could tell you like all the different noises that went on all the way through the book. I really enjoy Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. However, I only watched Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp once and I didn't like it. So I was open-minded going into this. I was ready to accept whatever. Let's talk about what I thought. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week and then movie reviews here mostly at the weekend. It's been a little bit off recently thanks to some sort of non-movie weekends and vlogmas and things like that going on, but all of my movie reviews, most importantly, are spoiler free, and I will leave a playlist of my recent reviews linked up above. So yes, I really enjoyed Wonka. I thought that it was really nice. So it's a PG, it's definitely a family film. A lot of people are saying that it's just a little bit watered down because it's a family film, and so it feels a little bit meh. But for me, it had like Oliver exclamation mark vibes going on. Obviously an Oscar winning wonderful musical with with an interval. Like, what more could you ask for? Definitely gave me Oliver vibes. And then it also reminded me a little bit of what was that Christmas movie? I think it was straight to Netflix last year or the year before, called Jingle Jangle. It reminded me a little bit of that, which I didn't like terribly much. I was like, oh, is it going to be a bit like that? I think because Keegan-Michael Key's in both of them, I was a bit worried. But it's an origin story. I love an origin story. I mean, the new Haunted Mansion movie is an origin story of the Hatbox Ghost, and I was just so here for it. So it's an origin story of Willy Wonka, and I loved that aspect of it. So it definitely has songs in it, which I was a little bit dubious about because I'd heard Timothée Chalamet singing on SNL. I wasn't sure about his singing voice, but obviously they could pre-record everything. It's not done live. So that was fine. And he does a lot of singing in it. I was quite surprised by just how much singing he does in the film. And then you've got people like Matt Lucas singing away, and then Olivia Colman singing away. And so it's absolutely perfect that they've done it at this time of year, because it's like a Christmassy family musical without being Christmas. Like Oliver, I always love watching Oliver and Sound of Music at Christmas time, and they don't take place at Christmas, but they've got that like festive feeling, and so it definitely feels like that kind of classic like Lionel Bart type of a musical, and yet it's an origin story. So there's definitely some magic in it. I took a hot chocolate along with me because I was worried that it would be sort of too chocolatey. Watching the original Willy Wonka makes me definitely hungry for chocolate. Like when he's drinking out of the chocolate river, even though it's disgusting and he falls in, I still want some drinking chocolate at that point. Not as badly as Polar Express and the hot chocolate scene, but so I took that along with me. But there wasn't tons of chocolate in it, even though he goes to kind of the place where the best chocolatiers are in the world and makes his own chocolate out of this like traveling chocolate making magic machine that he has, which is wonderful. I like the idea of the guy with the traveling suitcase, and along those lines it kind of gave me Mary Poppins vibes, but not original Julie Andrews Mary Poppins, Emily Blunt Mary Poppins Returns vibes. And so I hope that kind of those comparisons give you an idea of what you're in for without going down the spoiler route. And it's definitely a family film. I think I went with my mum and she sort of said, oh, it might be a little bit scary. If you haven't seen this week's Vlogmas video, you won't have seen sort of our take together on it. But I think that there was less scary qualities than I thought. I think there were some scenes, like there's quite a scary dog in it, and there were some scenes where that could have been scarier, or parts where you kind of worried that Willy Wonka is going to disappear never to be seen again. And again, those parts were kind of diluted down. They weren't too scary. And so I think that they did a good job of making it family friendly with some darker topics, which I think is where Charlie and the Chocolate Factory really did not hit the mark. Like, it's just straight scary, is that one. And then we sort of have to talk separately about Hugh Grant. Apparently he said that he hated making the film, but he needed the money. And I'm like, you don't kind of feel like he hates being there when you're watching it. But it is quite weird that he's it's the origin story of the Oompa Loompa as well. So he is the Oompa Loompa. And we get to hear a little bit of how the Oompa Loompa was supposedly discovered by Willy Wonka, which is slightly different from the book. And then, yeah, it's almost like Hugh Grant's normal head, but on an Oompa Loompa body. And I just don't know how it sits with me. I feel like I need to watch it again before I give a full opinion on Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa. Yeah, I thought that he always seemed a little bit cynical, but then I feel like the Oompa Loompas in the original movie also seem quite cynical. I would need to reread the book if that cynicism comes off the page from Roald Dahl's words. But yeah, it was a strange one. I think he seems very funny when you watch the trailer, but it kind of comes off as almost like he was poking fun at Willy Wonka in the film, which is quite cool. It gives a little sort of adult humour edge to it, so you can see a little bit more about their relationship and why maybe the Oompa Loompas didn't enjoy working for Mr. Wonka. I don't know. But yeah, it was a very, very full cinema. Like, there was not many seats left. People were right up against the screen, very full. So it was nice to be in that buzzy atmosphere. Should you pay your cinema going money to go and see this one? I think it's definitely worthy of it. I think because there are some decent special effects in there, there's quite a cool CGI giraffe, and because there's sort of lots of things happening on the screen, it's quite a busy film. I think it's definitely worth seeing on the big screen. And then there are still quite big audiences going to it, and so you get that like buzzy atmosphere of seeing it with families, being a family movie. And so it has got something for everyone, and you could go and take people during this festive season, like bigger families, or like join together with other families to go and see it and all sort of watch it together, because the children and the adults definitely would get something out of it. And I think it was definitely sort of worthy of its ticket price, and so the answer would be yes. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I think I would like to go and see it again. Mum's already been to see it again, and she enjoyed it for the second time as well, so that's brilliant. As always, if there is a particular movie you would like me to go and watch this week and bring my thoughts back to you here next week, then do let me know in the comments. I will be back with another movie review video for you very soon. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that video and my weekly vlog. Yeah, I will see you then. Thanks for watching.